Moving on to step 22. And step 22, we take our front gearbox, we did before. This is very similar to what we did with the rear. We're going to take the components that we made earlier, our arms, etc., and we're going to pop those into our gearbox section here. So we're going to pop this bottom one on first. Okay. Take one of these long screw pins, which are the BB7s, which are 3 by 46 millimeters. And from the front, we're going to slide that through, all the way through to the rear. And once we're through to the rear, we just need to locate the hole at the rear, which I think we have, and then use our screwdriver to pop that home. There we are. And I tell you what we'll do while we're here, we'll do the other side. So hopefully you'll be able to see it. And now that they're in place, we've got to place our dog bones in. Pop the dog bone in here, and we've got to go through here, like that. Then bring this down, and what we need to make sure is, like we did before on the rear, is you pop the BB9 through the top, through the hole, and secure that using one of these little 2mm E-clips. And I'm just going to turn that up to the, good. Turn that up to the camera so you can see it. Okay. Excuse the noise as I go reach for a tool. Oh. Yeah, that's in place. Do the same again on the other side. And that is step 22 completed. Moving on to step 23, and step 23, we've got our components here that we need. I'm going to gather the screws in a moment, but it's really a simple case of we need this front stabilizer rod. We need these drop down links, C5. We need this part, which is a G4. We also need this part, which is a B15. We also need B6 and B4. And we're going to get the hardware as well and put that out in a moment. But the reason why I wanted to bring your attention is this here, BB23, a little rubber tube. So one of the first steps we're going to need to do is cut this rubber tube, and we've got to cut 4 3mm width of rubber. Okay, so I'm just going to cut those pieces from the rubber tube. So I've got my ruler here, and I'm going to cut those into shape, and I'll give you the 4 pieces and the rest of the hardware. Back in a moment. Okay, so here we go. We've cut the 3mm rubber tubes. We've got the rest of the hardware as well. So BB4s times 2, which are these 3 by 15mm self-tappers. A 3 by 12mm self-tapper, which is BA3, a couple of the 3mm washers, these 2 little balls, 5mm balls, We cut the tube into 4 lots of the 3mm, and we've got the rest of the hardware. So let's do this. So it's a case of, let's take this step first of all. We've got to put a couple of these little rubber these rubber tubes over the top. So there we go. One on there, one on there, and then we've got to screw on to the end these little these brass balls, like that. Like that. Bring those two. Okay. There we are. So now we have that. Okay. Now we got to place this. This is going to go onto the front of the car. So we've got to place some of this other hardware in as well. So let's pop in the front bit. So this is our G4 part. Let's pop this on the front. So this, I believe, is got to go the right way. So let's check to make sure we got the orientation right. No, we just pop it around the right way. There we go. And that's going to go along the lines of that, I would have thought. Yep. And then we've got this B15 component that also goes in here. Yeah. And then we take, this is the 3x12mm screw, and we pop that through and collect that hole at the front. Like that. I'm not going to screw it tight yet because we've got to collect these bottom holes, you see. So then what we need to do is take our stabilizer rod. This goes through here and it collects those slots in the front. Okay. And does it need to go? Yeah, it goes underneath this arm here. Okay. So we need to make sure it's in the right place. Goes underneath the arm. Okay. Then we take the relevant one, which is B4 for this side. And we need to collect B4, and then we need to take one of the longer of the 3mm self-tapping screws and one of the washers, and we need to pop that into place as well. So pop a washer on. I'm going to pop that into place as well. And I'm just going to put a couple of threads on this because we need to line everything up. So one there. Okay. There we go. Put that in there. There we go. Right, now that we've got that in place, and that's virtually there as well, and it's holding everything at the front together, which is good. We need to do these stabilizer rods drop down, these drop down links. So how this goes about, there we go, popped onto place, and then we pop that in. Do the same again on the other side. There we go. And then pop the bottom link on. Pop the bottom link on there. Go on. I use a pair of pliers for that bottom one. Sorry about that. It's a bit stiffer. Okay, and the idea is there's 3 holes on the front of these. They face forwards. So they've got like a 3-hole facing forward. That's how you get them the right way around. And the last bit, we need to pop the little 3mm rubber on top on the other half, on the other side of that. There we have it. Step 23 completed.